What's up, everybody? Osborne and McCarty are here with you. We're here to talk about the Fedor saga, and I think it finally came to a bit of a conclusion today. If you didn't already hear, Fedor has signed with Strikeforce. Definitely wasn't expecting that, but he seems pretty bent against signing with UFC, so Strikeforce seems like the logical choice here in this one. And I'm kind of mixed on this one. I really did want to see Fedor in the UFC. Everybody wanted to see that dream match against him and Brock Lesnar. It's not going to happen, but at the same time, this gives Strikeforce a little bit of an edge. I wouldn't say an edge over UFC, but it makes them a little bit more even than they were. They still got a lot of catching up to do. But I think MMA, you want healthy competition. It's just going to be good for everybody, especially the fight fans. And I don't see UFC as a monopoly, but it's definitely going to be good for them to have Strikeforce giving them a little bang for their buck. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's talk about Fedor here. Now, there's a lot of discussion on the message boards right now, and basically, there's two different scenarios going. A lot of people are saying Fedor is a money grubber. He doesn't want the UFC. It's a pride issue. He doesn't want to, fight good competition, so he's going to settle for second best. So maybe that's true. I don't know. I don't want to get on the Fedor hating bandwagon right here, because there are a lot of underground Fedor fans. We don't want to piss you guys off. But the second scenario is that he's actually really just looking towards the future, because this whole M1 Industries, which has been the issue with UFC, they don't want to co-promote shows with him. Fedor is M1, pretty much. And he's thinking, 5-10 years down the road, he's not fighting. He wants to have some sort of nest egg to fall back on. M1 would be that nest egg. But I don't really understand the logic behind that. Because if you're getting $30 million from UFC for a couple of fights, $30 million, that's a lot of money.
That's a ton of
There's
money.
a nest egg for you right there. So I don't know if I really buy that, but we'll leave it at that. Now let's go back, Matt, with the competition issue here.
Okay.
He's going to Strikeforce. They don't have the stacked divisions as UFC. They're still pretty new organization. They're still up and coming. They got some good guys in there. What is Fedor going to do with the competition? Is he just going to run through them, or is this going to be kind of a tough thing for him?
Honestly, I don't think so. I don't know Strikeforce's whole heavyweight roster, but I kind of feel like the majority of heavyweight fighters are in the UFC, but there's still some really good fighters over in Strikeforce.
Yes.
There might be 2, maybe 3 good fights that they can give Fedor if he wins the first one.
So who do we got? We got Brett Rogers.
Brett Rogers.
Knocked out Arlovsky.
Yeah.
Verdum.
Verdum, yeah.
Verdum.
I mean, so there's a few good fights there, but I just feel that the UFC has a bit deeper of a roster. Not much, but they probably got a good 5 to 7 guys that would give Fedor a good run for his money. So I don't know. I don't know. I can't buy into the whole, he needs a nest egg in M1. I think he's avoiding Brock Lesnar because I think Brock Lesnar poses a huge threat and a giant beast that can control him from the top. I mean, he's proven against Frank Mir that his size, his power, can outdo technique.
Yeah.
I mean, he's strong, and he'd probably decimate Fedor. So
yeah, I mean, that's the way he's running through guys lately. I mean, nobody's ever faced anybody like Lesnar. I mean, if there's anybody out there that could, Fedor would probably be the number one guy. Wouldn't you agree?
I would hope so.
So who knows? Maybe somewhere down the road we might actually see a matchup, but I really don't think it is, because Dana White is involved with things, and love him or hate him, he's sticking to his guns, and for good reason. UFC has worked really hard to get where they're at. They deserve it. So Strikeforce, we'll see what you can do with them. Should be interesting. Now, Jared, we were talking about the whole image thing here with Fedor. Not a lot of Americans know about him. I mean, a lot of the underground MMA guys do, but just the casual fan. Underground? No, I guess so. Maybe we are underground. But, not everybody that would know who Chuck Liddell is would know who Fedor is now. So the underground fans are the ones that are really being affected by this. Is this going to hurt Fedor's image now that he's signed with, I wouldn't call it a lesser company, because I do like Strikeforce. Yeah. I try to support him. I just ordered Showtime the other day so I can see all the fights coming up. But is it really hurting his image with those loyal fans?
I mean, if I'm considered an underground MMA fan, it's kind of hurting his image. I mean, you're saying $30 million. That's plenty of money. You don't need any more money than that. Like, why do you have to do that?
Yeah.
You can just go to UFC, fight all the top guys. Maybe he wants to just destroy Strikeforce and just turn it into M1, and then try to get something with the UFC after that.
I hope not. That's too much of a Russian thing to do.
I hope if he destroys the Strikeforce crowd, the Brett Rogers and all them, I hope he eventually comes to UFC. But yeah, it kind of hurts his image, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I don't know. It should be interesting. It's really hard to say exactly what's going to happen. I mean, Fedor has always been considered like the #1 fighter in the world, mainly because of his record. I mean, it's definitely impressive.
Like boxers.
But at the same time, I mean, I was thinking about it today. There's been a lot of guys that have come from Pride and different organizations that Fedor has fought in and not done very well.
Anything.
I love Wanderlei Silva. I mean, he's an awesome guy, huge fan favorite. But he hasn't had success in the UFC, and he's fought a lot. Crow Cop.
Head kicked by a jiu-jitsu guy. Come on.
Now Fedor has beat a lot of these guys. He's beat Crow Cop. He's beat Nogueira and stuff like that. So that is an edge for him. But he knows. He deep down inside, you wouldn't be able to tell by the look on his face, but he might be a little bit nervous, and maybe all these lawyers getting involved and screwing things up is just a way to kind of cover it. Not make it look so obvious that he's dodging UFC. So
He's a chicken.
yeah. So you gotta get more respect for guys like GSP. They're always saying, "Give me the best. I want to fight the best." And Fedor, whether he outright said, "I don't want to fight the best," or "I do," through his actions, through his lawyer's actions, he's saying that, and actions speak louder than words. So who knows? We'll see what happens after that. But guys, that is it. I'm Josh Osborne.
Matt McCarty.
Jared McCarty.
And we'll catch you on the next MMA topic.